Knox currently has the lead. Dance looking for the right side. Trying to go around the long way into turn number 1. Down to the hairpin for the first time. Contact! Around goes the pole sitter. Chris Knox dumps it out of turn number 1 as the field tries to siphon through. And that's big trouble for the Scotsman early on. This problem in the middle of the SS.
Oh, just looping it behind another car. Following through pretty close. I don't know. That was just a pretty late. It was with Knox. Oh!
Here as, he just, I think, got unsettled up and over the curb. We'll get one more look at that, a bit of a better look at that one for VJO. And it looked like he did, too aggressive on the throttle right when he got over the crest. The car got light on him. He did a good job, though, to keep that car out of the barriers. I thought he spun off of the Iconic Motorsports car and just took too much of that curb and just knows that front wing into the Armco.
Irritated. Knows that he should be up there challenging for the race win right now. Wow, what an overcorrection there.
That's why we see Brandon Dollar in the pits. This is in the middle of the SS. Took too much curb, spins it off, slams hard into the barrier. And that's going to knock the Onyx Motorsports machine down. Hoffman having a spin out of the final corner onto the front straightaway. Carrying up that the throttle a bit too much. Going for a full 360. Keeps it rolling. And turn 10 and on to 11. Just lost the back end. Spun it around and able to get himself sorted. These low gears, they don't like it when you try to just mash the throttle like that.
It's not going to be a 3 because I still think Chris Knox will get up there. And we've only got the 2 that you see up front there going off in the distance as Paquin.
Looking like the 2 favorites to win the race here at COTA tonight. Wow, and around, we'll go to 74, and hard into the wall goes the Brazilian. Who is now into pit road after this incident at turn 19, looping the back end of the 99, locks it down, and coming through the S's. Whoa, he hopped the curb. Oh, man. Talk about a tough break. Take a look as right there, he's going to clip that anti-cut curb. And that spears him head on into the wall.
Wow, I just can't. So I'm liking this challenge or this strategy that I'm seeing from Joshua Chen. I think he realized it's just going to be really difficult on the racetrack with the dirty air as we see Chris Knox making another mistake. Pretty minor.
It was the tail end of the SS and carrying too much speed it looked like and loops the back end around. Going to fall victim to the barriers as he has taken a toe to the pits and whoa, look out as he spins it and you backed that car into the fence. Just getting over that crest, you lost it once and then he lost it again, trying to get back on the throttle. He gets on the binders and, that curb. He got on the orange anti-cut curb and around he goes.
He's in the gap just a little bit, so trying to put up some of the fight, but man, Aitken just got, I couldn't quite tell exactly what started that, but a couple front fenders, or front wings coming off, and there was one guy that went around with Aitken here at the very beginning that I'm a little worried about too.
Oh, right there, the 27 lost control, so both the Aero X teammates got collected, and they're both going to be out of the race for the rise, and that back end just steps away on you. It gets super light up over the rise because he's jumping on the binders, and he's going to have to hope that he didn't damage that floor there when he kind of hit that transition there to ride up the hill. And then Randy Shoemate just seconds later, the Aero X machine, having problems at the double hairpin at the top of the circuit, getting over the bumps on the outside, going for a spin. Jumps on the brakes, and he's clipped the tires there.
To the crapper, but then somebody running in front of him, Marshall Stanley is the one that ends up losing it. See, that looks very much like Cameron Dance's paint scheme.
Styles.
Yep. And then here it is, the 25 running in 3rd place, Marshall Stanley.
Just finds the wall, and that's trying to get it back rolling.
That was pretty decent contact on the left rear for an IndyCar for a flick spin too. I would say I'd be worried, but he is already running the last car on the racetrack, other than the guys that, I think that's what we just saw from Stanley. Just unfortunately was running in the podium positions, and it just devolved so quickly.
And that
some fatigue start to set in towards the end of this thing. I mean, we have the possibility for cautions.
Jump up, we'll see. All right, here's Shoemaker.
Back in.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Shoemaker definitely has damage that implies that he was tagged. And we just saw the product of that right there as the Aero X machine spins off. Shoemaker again with that rear wing damage. Same corner, but this time I think you can attribute that to a loss of rear downforce, just stepping the back end out. Shoemaker again with that rear wing damage. Same corner, but this time I think you can attribute that to a loss of rear downforce, just stepping the back end out. And now VJO spins off the racetrack. It is still off the racetrack. The iconic motorsports driver taking that loop out of turn 2, backs it up into the grass, and Betty's just lost that on his. Yep. You saw him start to twitch and steps around on him. It's
issues in real life, but here on the simulation, it becomes a very fun racetrack as we see Caleb Bleakley going off into the dirt.
Be in for a wild finish as well. You're watching the Paper Recycling Systems 150 Replay TV, and around goes Styles. That's going to throw away the battle for 6. We'll be back in a moment. That break, as you see him here looping the back end of that machine coming out of the final hairpin, and he just now went off back to pit road. He was going out of the racetrack to pick up the 17th spot. He very much did that, and he backed that one into the wall. So going on as well.
Pretty stylish way to pick up a couple positions there from Julian Altena. Here after the Frenchman spins out. Got that curb. I mean, it really had nothing to do with the curb. He got over the hill and looked like he was A-OK.
Up over the rise and just picked up the throttle and
but they will be under danger. Oh, side by side through the S's. Tough area to get side by side. But here he comes.
No!
Contact! No, the 68 hard into the inside fence.
No!
And the right front tire is gone. He's going to be out.
And there's Andrew Wood getting into the 68.
Oh, that's a tough one. It's really, really close. I feel like Wood is coming off of that a little bit, but Garrett's also pinching him really heavy, not giving him much room for error. Johnny was close to being to the point where I felt like there was not enough overlap, and Johnny should have just taken the normal racing line. But I mean, with him just being stuck in the dirty air.
Slowdown penalty, I think, for VJO here as he pulled over. Oh no! And he's clipped the barriers.
So that left front is.
Yeah, well, he's just spun off the racetrack again. I mean, look at it. He's trying to nurse that car back around and.
Oh my goodness.
Slides off, noses it into the fence, and that car's stranded. He couldn't get it rolling again.
You got to get it just perfect to be able to get it through there.
There's the big stack up with VJO and more all the way back through this field. That's what really caused the big pile up there earlier on in this one. And there's Saunders coming through the corner, looking like he collided with the 27 car of Andrew Aitken, spun himself into the barriers, and it looks like a good chunk of cars had to kind of stop behind. That's why we saw those problems.
It's a contention is going to be out at that point. It's just, like we said, this track's so unforgiving. You got cars with no suspension travel and some big bumps going through that turn.
And I'm going to apologize. I think it was actually Alberto Surya that had that moment coming off the corner, just spun off the tires, whereas LaVille clipped the inside wall. And he made the same mistake, and oh boy, one driver, I believe that was Barnacow. That was not Barnacow, my apologies. It was somebody in there though, Hans Pitkinen, that just had a narrow escape. Whoa, look out! Bodar slides the back end, and he's going to drop it in turn 1, loops the 29, and Schwabauer now with a 1-second lead over Ethan Hagen.
Read a little bit. He's definitely probably frustrated with spinning that thing around, but he knows he's got a clean car. And
now we see Molnar looking to the inside of Johnny Garrett. Can't make the attack at Takade as they work back up to Pine Avenue. And, well, by say that, he's just dropped it coming up and over the rise as well. That's another easy mistake to make that we haven't talked about a whole lot this race. It's very bumpy.
So much. The cars get very twitchy, and the amount of grip you have changes a lot.
This afternoon is a 34. Just, again, caught those bumps. Locks it down, and he'll take the Firestones, do a little flick spin and get it back rolling. Easy battle for Altena. And is it that hill? He sure is. Loops the hill, and oh, he does tag the wall.
Keeps getting worse.
Oh, well, that'll be why he towed. Body slammed the tire barrier, and that would have, I'd imagine that would have broken the suspension on that car, which is why we saw him take that tow to pit road for the last 9 years. So he's very much familiar with how this race works. And you see Stu closing the wall, but keeping out of it. But take a tow to the pits, and I'm willing to bet it's a wall. Yep, it sure was. Slammed the wall, and that hooked him hard into the concrete, and you saw that left front toe already a couple laps down, and that hill again catching the car out, and this time spins one hard into the barriers instead of
very aerodynamically dependent cars, as they are very aero sensitive, and they're also very twitchy. These cars don't like getting sideways, like as you saw there.
And it's in turn one. Oh, hard hit into the wall and goes for a high-speed pirouette. That was a violent impact that Altena took into the wall. On board. Oh, yeah. Oh. And look at that right front. It is destroyed. No way he could turn, and then he knocks out the left front with that hit. He was formerly up there well into the top 5 before he had his big problems. Oh, and around goes Stoom. Bends it hard into the wall, and that will let Garrett right through in a hurry. And in turn 2, no move being made. Got one car slow on the apron. That is Iker Pajero. Started this race from pit road, and he is just trying to let this field through. He's not looking to get involved. Pajero making his first start in several years in the Classic Indycar Series. Oh, he's going to get drilled in the back end. And that was, I think, Zambelli that crashed into him. And we got more trouble on the front straightaway now. 3 cars around. And that'll put the yellow flag out, and another huge hit on the front straightaway as Vickery was left with nowhere to go.
Oh, man, you hate to see that 10 laps into the race. I mean, really late on the brakes, and obviously another guy spinning. That's just so massive, and it just feels pointless this early.
And that was Gary Lovern that got involved. Franz Josef Stoom got involved as well, and that is a monster of a hit for Tyler Vickery, who again just had nowhere to go. The racetrack and tried to get the cut down low, but he saw Zambelli trying to cut down low, didn't know where to go, and it was just miscommunication, right? I mean, they didn't know where each other was going, and that leads to that problem, right? Being predictable as a lap car. Then watch here as, oh, good Lord. I cannot underestimate to you how.
It's up front, make some moves.
You see everybody starting up on that outside. Whoa! We got one car into the infield. That's Caleb Weekly that'll spin it around on the restart, but no caution because he's so far down to the racetrack. That's a bad run for the Iconic Motorsports driver, who will get back onto the racetrack and get.
So I think that's what we saw with Johnny Garrett. They're losing a handful of spots.
Oh,
BJ,
he got hit.
Hit the wall. Wow.
They hit the wall and they got turned down, hopped it across the ledge oval, and take a look. That is a save right there. It is not going to get much closer than that. Take a look at this one from the outside this time around. He hits the wall, and I think that was Lucas Laville that got into the back of it. Now, not blaming Laville at all. Nothing he could do there, right? That's a huge loss of speed that VJO suffered when he skated through the infield grass.
Downforce from the underbody being so tight to the racetrack, and unfortunately, it just ripped him right around after the incident, where, again, he just comes over that hump a little high out of turn number 4, and it catches him sideways. He did a good job saving it, but this, as soon as he rejoined past that second inlet down to the infield, it just ripped around on him.
Yep, and that's impact this race in a whole new way. Now, oh, contact! Oh, no! Friendly fire between the Vortex teammates as Laville climbs the back of Hoffman on pit entry. And then this is on board and just locked it up and rode up the back end. And now Andrew Wood.
Trips on the inside, especially 3 and 4. I mean, it just ripped him around. He had no chance.
Oh. Hard hit for Zambelli into the wall, got down to the curb and just
can't believe that impact for Stoom coming around turn 4, just Arnickel just getting sideways up on the outside of the racetrack. Oh my word, that bounce.
That was absolutely monstrous. Let's ride on board with Stoom. And well, that's already in progress. We'll get another look, but hang on to your helmets here because this is going to get a little bit wild. I mean, just nothing you can do. The second that front end leaves the ground, you're a passenger.
Man, I really hope that he's not in VR because that would have been a little disorienting. I'm still frustrated. Obviously, if I'm Stoom, I mean that's heartbreak. Just riding around at the back of the pack, not really pushing yourself, and
oh boy,
just caught up in somebody else's incident that you just could not go anywhere. It's how fast you run up on guys on these or in these Indy cars at ovals. I mean, you just have no time to react. Tucked up right behind him.
Look at
Nothing
the
you can do.
error here that he gets. I mean, that car.
Oh my.
He's lucky that didn't go nose first into the catch fence itself. We'll talk about a hard lick as well for the 31. Mike Gerlicka left with nowhere to go down to the inside as well. God almighty.
It's going to take 3 of them out of the race early. And
Zambelli. Man.
Zambelli from the wrecked the lap before also out of the race. So that's going to be 4 contenders down and out before we've even hit lap number 10.
We're down to 14. Caution flag number 1 is out on the speedway. We'll be back in a moment. Green flag TV. It's a bit too high up, and it's that transition, right? When he came off on the flag, the car got light, and I mean, he hit the wall right where it starts to come out to allow for that access road right there. So that's
Got again.
sure was. Same. That is identical to Surya, and in fact, hit in pretty much the same place as well.
Outside groove for turns 1 and 2. It's going to be a tough pass for the 13.
Oh, contact!
big
Look out!
moves.
Around goes Shoemaker. The caution is out. Big hit up
Well,
in
you were
turn
right
2
on
to
the
the
caution.
outside wall.
And that was a heavy impact. Oh, Aiken.
Oh, around he goes!
And through the grass.
Balances off the inside fence, but again, a hit, but not a big hit. He should be able to get away with that. Here with Garrett as he came down. Oh, whoa, yeah, look at the right front. That knocked the suspension a little loose. It didn't fully turn the car around, but yellow flag number 3. 4, I think now.
Yep. Well, I expect everybody still on the lead lap to come down pit road, right? Everybody that hadn't pitted, I feel like this is a perfect opportunity. Leaders, you know, it'd still be impressive for him to get a lap or 2 back.
Ouch.
But he is 5 down, so it's going to be a little bit tougher. Andrew Aiken, though.
It'll be game over. We're down to 9. So he slides backwards and brought it to a stop on the front straightaway. Riding on board with Altena here. Hey, because that's one of the only hits that has rebounded a car back onto the racetrack.
Oh, man. I can't believe we didn't get a yellow for it. I guess nobody came around. That's gonna hurt his chances of staying on the lead lap and getting a decent finish. Well, I mean, I say that. He's still going to finish in the top 10 due to the attrition rate, but, well, his left front looks similar after the last one. And, okay, well, he's crab walking down the pit road now this time. So I think that this might actually be it for Altena. I'm not too sure. I don't want to count him out just yet, but
still got one pit stop left in the board for us this afternoon. Oh, look out! Huge crash! Rocher up and over! One car flipping into the infield. It's Caleb Weekly. Caution is out again, and a huge crash on the back straightaway. Woodall scrapes the outside wall. Grosjean with nowhere to go, launches up into the air, kicks sideways, then gets into Weekly, who kicks up on his side. Nearly went over as they slid down into the infield, and they both go hard into the inside wall. Take a look from the air. Watch the third car. That has got to be. No way.
That's incredible. What a job he just did to get through there. There's no chance, man.
With Groscher. Oh, that's a ride. And then a view as well. As he saw Weeknum's getting kicked up and over, and then noses it into Weekly, but had no control over that car. Couldn't steer. Nothing he could have done. With Weekly. Man, Weekly lucky that car didn't go over. Not like it would have mattered anyway. I mean, it's still out of the race.
Goodness, man. I mean, it's so heartbreaking for these guys. You know, they've ran this whole thing, put themselves in a good position, and I mean, because of that, we're down to 3 cars on the lead lap.
And holy cow, that is incredible. And by the way, Lewis Woodall he did end up having to take the tow to the pits because of how much damage he took as a result of that impact onto the back of his car. And I mean, just found a way through that.
What a sight to see, man. And the thing is, he's got 2 wheels on he attacked the outside wall first.
Caught the wall, overcorrected, back into the wall, and then slam into the inside fence.
Oh, that's not what you want to see.
No caution because of how far back he was, but he had to take a tow. There was no way that car. This is taking a look at what happened to Bobby Love, and I mean, that is a little too hard leg.
God bless, man. Just a little too high coming out of the corner. A little bit too much wheel put into it.
Tremendous hit at speed.
Man. Oh. Makes me happy this is not real life.
Even in a sim, that hurts to watch.
Oh.
Let's see what he saw.
as he was spinning out of turn number 3. I think it caught him sideways before he got down that far down off the racetrack. I think it threw right here as he's still on the racetrack. So quick call on the iRacing caution. We're going to have another yellow. We're going to have another set of pit stops because I got to...
Yeah, just... Man.
Oh, we got split strategy. It is...
Oh, ran into the back of one of the Vortex Sim Racing cars and just sent himself wide. Didn't have help here from Logan Simmons. He did not. He lost that one all by his lonesome. And then coming up behind, you're going to watch Rob Barnicow enter the stage, slams the brakes, and just tanks it into Rodriguez. That is unfortunately hit the wall as a result. And there was Zambelli having his second off-track excursion of the race. Yes, this car has seen better days for sure this race and just looped it. The iconic motorsports driver out of the race. Oh, clipped the grass on entry, and boy, that's a huge lick. And that was down at turn 14 and just looped it, clipped the grass, and oh wow, that's an odd one. Kind of drifted off, and then, well, it was on from there. Happened here as he caught the curb. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Caught the curb. He was lucky not to go the way of Logan Simmons and nose that thing into the wall. Just too much throttle, picked it up, and good night. Right aboard with Johnny Garrett here on what he saw. A wild incident coming down into turn 2. Just the second that car hopped the ground, there was no saving it. And then, of course, this is a really bad sight to see behind you, just the field flying up on you. He kept that car to the outside, though. He just lost the throttling up and just grazed. I think he grazed the wall, but with the damage model, it didn't register it. Down pit road.
I think iRacing realizes how long Michigan's pit road is, trying to get you on the pit road exit whenever we are looking for the entry. But yeah, we see just a little bit wide there, maybe just trying to avoid wrecking the guy in front. And again, iRacing wants to give us the really long one. And
he clipped the grass.
Yep.
Looks like, and that's because he found the wall out of turn 4, sliding down, slamming into the inside wall, destroyed the left rear suspension, and that will put a very anticlimactic end to the Logan Simmons $100 challenge. I mean, look right there. I mean, that car just went straight on. Is that a wheel failure, maybe?
Yes, 100%. Gotta be. Gotta be.
And then he gassed it up to get it down to the inside, which was a very wise move. Kept himself.
That was a veteran move to get that.
Coming back one more time. Ouch. It's right on board with Cameron Dance. He was right behind this mess, and that was Rafael Rodriguez again to the inside, and that just unsettled the 25. Around he goes. Wild wreck up on 2 wheels, able to just barely recover. Let's ride on board with Rodriguez. Take a ride on board. This will be a hard lick. Now look at it up being. Yeah, never touched him. Not at all, and then, holy cow. Whoa, look out! Round goes Johnny Garrett, hard crash! Johnny Garrett up and over, a big flip into the fence. He spun around, and Johnny Garrett just launched over directly into the fence, a la the Worldwide Technology Raceway when Franz Josef Stum went for a ride. Slammed back down to earth. There you see, I think that was Rafael Rodriguez getting through there. Violent wreck on the front straightaway. Take another look, and golly! That was one of the Vortex Sim Racing cars that got a big piece of that as well. Take one more look. We'll slow this down. Look at the height that he gets. Clears Zambelli's car and slams into the fence. Goes for a wild tumble down the front straightaway. that managed to escape with minimal damage. Take a ride on with him. Holy cow! You are kidding me! No way! Absolutely no way. I mean, look at that. Slow that down one more time and let's take a ride. So Garrett goes airborne. He runs over the front wing, slams into the fence for Garrett, and watch this. That car, oh my word. I don't think he touched a thing. He didn't. He got through that unscathed. At real speed. Just a vicious snap into the inside wall, but that's all it takes.
He must have clipped this first curb on the inside just a little. Oh, nope, he's just loose under braking again. Completely looped that thing around. Maybe Monzato had to take some evasive action, but Garrett's well off the racetrack right here. Oh, no. Oh, I think he made evasive action whenever he didn't need to. Coming in to do what feels like the 10th chicane on the racetrack. Oh, no, Rodriguez goes spinning. He locks it down, so he's not going to get any damage, but he is going to lose a chunk of time in that 12th place spot. Shoemake's going to be coming up around.
Yeah, still going there. It looks like someone's on an issue and turn outside the hairpin, the exit of the hairpin, and it looks like he's on the power. The rear wheel has just spun up, and right now it looks like it's a case of just losing the rear end, and again holds the brakes. And
A little bit of an error. Logan Simmons, it wasn't deep, just a little bit too quick on the inputs in the steering wheel, whipping that thing to the left. Jamie Wilson and BJO for the 5th place spot. As we see what happened to the 0-5, it looks so innocuous coming out of the corner so late for the 0-5, but just a little bit too much wheel and a little bit too much gas put into it. But man, it seemed like he was on the straightaway. You would Manzato up to the 9th place position, and Johnny Garrett into the top 10. Got to give a shout out to Franz Josef Stoom for doing a great job getting by that as well. That's a very tough situation that he was put in, trying to get past Logan the first time. But what in the world? Logan Simmons, back-to-back issues in the same corner.
It looked fine. It looked like he hit a bump, and they just unsettled.
Cameron Dance coming up. He's trying to get out of the way. Was there a little bit of a clip there as he's trying to get out of the way for Dance? I can't quite tell. It's a weird spot to let somebody go. I applaud Aitken for trying, but oh man, it was just so tight between him and Dance coming through. We're going to get the onboard of Cameron to see. Maybe just a little bit unpredictable for Cameron, not expecting him to pull out of the way in such a strange part of the racetrack.
Oh,
there might have been a netcode clip, maybe? Come through 7 and 8.
Yeah, he locks up slightly and he gets sideways.
Man, we have seen that same incident how many times tonight? Holy cow. But looking back at a replay of Robert Grosser to see what happened to him, because he looked pretty damaged there. Coming out of the 2nd chicane, and that's a late loop coming out and a front wing out on the racetrack.
Coming around, this is coming to the pace lap, and just got stacked up. He got run into the back of it, then punted hard into the wall. So big problems for Simmons here. Just too much curb.
Yeah, it looks like
problems for Simmons here. Just too much curb. He should be fine. Just lost it, then overcorrected, nosed it pretty heftily into the wall, and as Vijay just left pit road, and around goes Aitken.
I wonder if that was just a case of cold tires.
Oh, absolutely. Look at that.
That was great car control.
Looking like, just lost the back end, and that's what costed him the 11th place spot. And then this is what happened to Marshall Stanley. Just got on the curb and snapped hard into the wall.
Yep.
Oh, it was in turn 1. Cold tires.
He just lost it again.
Yes. That's a weird one, Ryan. That has all the readings. Possibly on the exit of the Dunlop chicane. Yep. Just looped it around, picked up the throttle too aggressively, and then Franz Josef Stoom
back in the power just too hard again, and it's on that curve again, though. So
just too much curb. That's all it was. later into the hairpin. He is now 8 seconds back. And it's because of this. Just too aggressive, and that will finally...
Same issue he's had before. He's looks fine on the entry. Oh, it's mid-corner. He starts losing it. He just you saw he had a lot. Oh, that was.
He's coming through Coca-Cola turn. Too much on the exit. Spotted around, but was lucky enough to lock it down. This is at Coca-Cola. Just lost it on the apex. So, oh boy, what the world was that? Johnny Garrett with a weird one. Oh, contact, look out, the Indycar. Rafael Rodriguez spun hard into the wall. Single car accident, and that will slow us down for the first time tonight.
Stuck in between a couple of teammates.
Oh, no, there we go.
Taken to the inside, making contact with Hoffman, and Hoffman's going to be destroyed.
Well, that was the caution that the lead lap runners are hoping for, and that's just trapped a good chunk of this field a lap down. This is at speed. It's a hard hit. Back through 4. Egan's letting line down, contact, spin, crash hard into the wall. Big wreck up into turn number 1. Great heads-up driving there to get around that.
It just takes a moment.
Too.
Just takes one moment of falling asleep, just ever so slightly, just barely not thinking it through all the way, and just dipping the wheel onto the curb. 1 lap out of 200. And unfortunately, that's all it's going to take to knock you out of the race.
Ex-driver just pushing hard, and exit turn 2, slapped the wall down, hard hit right into the inside wall, and fired him back up the racetrack. That so far is the only big crash we've had. His third lap on the last ever was a 40.259. This time it'll be a 40.268, so a little bit slower. But whoa, look out! Slides out of turn 2, hard into the inside wall, and he has binned it hard. If he was just a little bit closer, who knows what might have happened. I mean, that is unreal.
He needed the start-finish line to be at the pylon, and he might have had it. I mean, it just crazy finish between the top 3 at the end. What? Oh man!
Wow, that is unreal. How close that is. And decision. Keeping these guys side by side into the wall. Look out! 1 car around. That's a big crash. Lewis Woodall into the wall, big time. And we got our first caution of the night. Didn't take longer to come out. Manzano out of the race.
I'm a little lost, but like I said, this is why you didn't want to qualify in the back. You get caught up in other people's mess. You don't want to be around it.
It's so weird that Bardical slowed up where he did. It almost looked like he might have been
getting down to the bottom as good as he needed to whenever you're side by side. Just missed the mark.
It's going to give him some damage on the right front as well for VJO's car, I'd imagine.
Yeah, but if you're Andrew Aiken, you're like, come on, man. This early and I'm destroyed. We're 15 laps into the race and my race is over. That's a tough break if you're Aiken.
It's lucky to draw. Remember in the past for the real race, how many times.
It doesn't look terrible.
Depends on how long it takes to get that
shocked.
wishbone fixed.
I'm trying to look at other cars left front, and they're all angled pretty similarly. They've gotten the tiniest of touch of the curb. I mean, maybe just got too low through the corner. That's just a weird solo car incident for Hans. No point in the run where you're going to get the most tight. You know, if you get on the gas just a little bit too early, you're not used to having that little of grip, I suppose. And Gerlicka just bit off a little bit more than he could chew. Like I said, longest run on the tires, just not feeling as much grip as they had on them before. Just not as much ability to get out of the corner. You can see how much wheel he's got in it. Not like he's not turning the wheel. Probably more wheel than he's put it in the car through 1 the entire night. Still just was not enough. To be honest, don't know how he got there. And McGill's just trying to catch it, not hitting the wall and not hitting anything coming through. Is Johnny Garrett okay? The way that the damage, yeah, it actually looks like.
Wow, I think that was Hans Pitkin in there. Extremely lucky. with less than a quarter of a second. Oh, trouble! Big crash! Front straightaway, one car up and over. That's Franz Josef Stoom tumbling down the front straightaway, pirouetting on his roof, barrel rolling over the attenuator into pit road. This is Guerrero. Oh, did he lose it? I think he got it settled, and Guerrero just neck-coated into the back of him, into the wall, up and over. And this is a wild ride as well, because he gets absolutely pummeled by Art McEwen. And that flips him over the attenuator and straight into pit road. Yeah, he got loose. He got on the curb.
Yeah, catches the curb, gets a little loose, slows up, and then, honestly, Guerra's trying to get to the inside because he sees him going slow, and Josef Stoom is drifting up off the bottom of the racetrack, and then
He has no idea there's a crash up here. Nearly gets into pit road.
man.
Hang on, folks. This is going to be a wild ride. If you get motion sickness, might want to look away for this one.
Holy cow.
Never seen an Indycar upside down for that long at that high a speed.
Uprooted this race.
Oh,
Strauss
no.
ran it down to 1.
Wow, Bennett got the elbows out. Strauss trying to pinch him in. Big contact. Armageddon found the inside. He just lost control. Huge hit up into the outside wall in turn 4. Holy cow. You don't have to see a car just go straight on like that. You know, the last time I think we've really seen that, I think it was way back for the Daytona 24. Caution comes out. We could be at risk of seeing this race end under the yellow flag. Oh, look out! No! Around goes Hoffman, hard into the inside wall. Sliding back towards traffic. He gasses up to keep it off the racetrack. We won't get a caution, but that's big trouble. And one of the Vortex cars dropped off of the podium.